passage of time. Saturday, March 9th, 2024. Linear time, I guess, or our journey through it, our tiny little spot on that timeline of life, I suppose. Again, I learned of Larry Hall's passing yesterday. I was subscribed. I hadn't heard from him or seen his videos for 4 years, or for a while. And then I learned that he died 4 years ago. So I'm always the last to know. But so yeah, little homage to a fellow gardener. I met him back on YouTube, like most people did, 11 years ago. Designed my mesh grow bags right about the same time. I made a couple for him, and he ended up not using or never used. Ooh, look at that bunny. She didn't see that bunny go across there. Oh, she did. She couldn't quite get to him. But yeah, so a couple, 3 weeks ago, lost a friend, or a constituent, a classmate, I guess I would say. I think he was the same age as me, maybe a year younger. And yeah, linear passage of our linear time. Yes, it's been a couple weeks since the truck's been running. I got a part coming today. Hopefully the map sensor's going to get that fixed. But yes, this thing is getting huge. Yellow tomatoes. But yeah, I met Larry online, YouTube, gardening. We were both kind of doing the same thing at the same time. I had the flood tray system, or the mesh grow bag, in a tray or in a pan or a pot. I did a bag, a vinyl, like a pool liner thing here. I think I've shown this before if you're not familiar with it. And of course it's lined with the bamboo sheath, bamboo. These grow on the stalk when they come up, so I line the side with that so the worm castings stay in there a little bit better. But I developed this back 2014. You can see my video of me loading this up. And one of the important things I noticed, I was putting handfuls of wood ash in there. There's your potassium and your the phosphorus. So that's pretty important, and that's why these bags work so good. This one's got this plant in here for like 4 years. Found some more holes in it yesterday I had to patch up. Well, actually, that hole looked like it opened up again, and I had to see little ants and stuff crawling around in there? I don't think you can, because this thing never focuses anymore. But yeah, a 3 or 4 year old plant. It's riddled with bugs, but it's still doing good. Oh, there's an open hole too. I got to seal that up. But it's doing great. It's growing. It's got a bunch of blossoms on it. Should probably just prune half of that dead stuff off, and it'll grow even better. But yeah, me and Larry were kind of on the same page with this stuff. I just made my own bags. This is a material called vermiculture. It's this one. Oh wait, is that vermiculture is typically 2 strands one way and 1 strand the other way. This is double strand both ways, so yeah, I'm not exactly sure what that is, but it is mesh, not a fabric. And Larry said these are air pruning, or the fabric bags, Walmart shopping bags, I believe is what he started using. But these have an anchor on here. This is a 3-leg cage. There's a little sleeve there that you slide the leg down into, and then you can snap the cage on with this. But I'm growing peppers, so I don't really need the tomato cage on there, so I'll just run it like this. This 5-gallon bag is a little bit small for a pepper, but with the system the way it is, with the roots going into the water in the tray in the bottom, the roots can get as big as they want and actually grow. You can grow a bigger plant in here than you can in a 5-gallon bucket. So mine is the mesh grow bag flood tray system. Mine's more of a tray. Larry used a gutter. I didn't like the gutter because the gutter was so narrow, and the plants had to sit on. You had to build a shelf, put the gutter between pieces of wood, and build this kind of rack to hold everything. I use a roof pan or a roof, a pan roof piece. This is called pan roof, and I set them in there, and it gets water over the whole bottom. So, and being a bio vermiculture worm composting bag, it's a worm compost bag. It's a compost bag. The plant is just the bonus that you get, because you put a plant in there and they grow like crazy, so you just go with that. And kind of, I just kind of observed what worked really good. I put it all in there, and lo and behold, there you go. So this differs from the rain gutter grow system, because there's more in the bag than just, you know, potting soil or dirt. You can put dirt in the bag. You've got to have the worms, and you put in the you know, vegetable scraps, salad scraps, not cabbage, not Brussels sprouts, but they love avocado. If you feed your worms avocado, you will have millions and millions of worms. Millions, I'm telling you. You won't believe how many worms you get. And that is like, you know, everything in nature is always there. Rocks, trees, glass, everything is all made up of the same atoms. You can burn it, you can grind it, you can disperse it into the wind. It'll, you know, break into tiny little pieces and oxidize in the sun, and filter down and make rocks eventually. It'll, you know, rocks are carbon dioxide, you know, rocks. Like all these rocks contain carbon dioxide. Limestone, seashell, it's all CO2. This is a carbon, sequestered carbon. All of this rock here, so much carbon in that. That's why producing cement, making clinkers in a rotary kiln, produces a lot of CO2. All this rock heated up to 1200 degrees releases massive amounts of CO2, and then you've got quicklime or clinkers and Portland cement. Same thing. In time, these logs are going to break apart, erode down, go into the ground. I should burn that up, make that into charcoal. That oak bark charcoal is really good in your plants. Again, carbon, you break it down to the basic carbon, which will last longer, and you feed that to your plants, and all the microorganisms will live in that charcoal, kind of like the way the Aztecs and the Egyptians used to do it along the Nile River. They had a charcoal bed in there, and then the rivers would flood, the silt would come down, and it would rest in that charcoal layer without getting washed away, and all the nutrients would be in there. Then floods would go down, they'd come out, plant in there, and they'd have massive crops, because kind of a hydroponic tray system with charcoal in there. See, again, you see, I'm just copying all of the stuff that I saw. Look at this thing. It is really starting to go. And I got a potato in there, which I'm going to have to take out and put somewhere else. See if we can grow some potatoes this year too. And because especially with grocery prices the way they are, you can't not do this. And more weed tomatoes there. Those aren't good. These are good. These are little cherry tomatoes. But yes, the flood tray, rain gutter grow system, dirt in a bucket, or, you know, bio diverse no-till soil. They wanted to, you know, they had this whole no-till thing. I don't know if they're still doing the no-till soil. The marijuana growers were real big on this all organic no-till, and they would basically manufacture a soil with all the right ingredients. Everything from just, you know, rice hulls and lobster shells. I made some of this stuff one time. It works pretty good, but it doesn't last forever. You have to have a system in there that's going to absorb more scraps and digest it, like with you know, the worms digest it. And, you know, what comes out? Worm tea, which is like the best stuff for your plants. And you don't have to do much more. You don't have to put, like, you could use bone meal and fertilizers like that, and the worms can actually digest that. The bag becomes a compost bag with the inoculated microbiology that's in the worm gut too. So you actually, after a while, after it's inoculated well enough, if you keep it fed, the bag is a worm itself, if that makes sense. But that's how it works. So if you put dirt in a bag, you can run it and it'll work. But at the end of the season, you grow 5 pounds, 10 pounds of tomatoes out of a bag like that, unless they're getting more nutrients in from the water or from some kind of hydroponic feed or more fertilizer going on there or more compost, more scraps going in there. Your dirt is going to get depleted, and you'll see at the end of the season, you take it out of there, man, there's not much left. It's all roots. Obviously you grew some poundage of fruit out of it, hopefully, so that dirt went somewhere. It went into your fruit, so you need to put something back in there. You need to get more dirt the next year, better potting soil, or you need to have a potting soil that will recharge itself with the worms and the worm castings in there. So that's how the Mash Bio vermiculture bag differs from just, dirt in a bucket. Yeah, I don't know, but this thing is looking really, really good. I think I'm going to have to put this one in that big 14-inch grow bag over there. And I'm not even sure what these, I think these are, yeah, those are definitely, I think that's a whole bunch of new peppers, but those are probably not the chocolate reaper. Those are probably Trinidad scorpion babies. But this is getting to be a really nice looking plant. That bucket, that 3 gallons is not going to be big enough for that, in my opinion. Well, if you want maximum, you got to have a little more dirt than that. But yeah, these sitting in just a little half-inch of water like that, that's perfect. And of course, if it rains, they're going to fill up and have 1.5 inches of water. But then that 1.5 inches of water will go down in a couple days, and I don't have to water these anymore. And if I was really ingenuitive like Larry, I would have all this on a float, which hopefully I will one day. I got to take all these off. I got to put 3 blocks in. I got to level everything, dig it all out. Bunch of work. I haven't had time with all the other stuff I got going on, but hopefully we'll get to that here the next few days. Started putting in rocks over there to stand my tank on. I want to get that thing up like 2 feet. That's a lot of rock to move, a lot of setup, a lot of work to do building that, but we'll get there someday. Linear time. All in linear time, I guess. Everything else is looking pretty good out here. Garlic doing nice. Never had garlic grow for that long. Usually they grow up, get about 3 sprouts on them, and they fall over and dead. More peppers, more peppers, more peppers. What, I got a butterfly? Yep, butterfly over here. Flying around. Big bunch of tomatoes over here in the back. Not very good ones, just this crappy store tomatoes. Took this plant over a year. This is a 13-month-old plant right here now. It didn't make any tomatoes for about 11 months. I think last month it just started making its first tomatoes. I'm going to pick these green. Maybe have some green tomatoes. Again, these aren't a super good or tasty tomato. They're just some crummy salad tomatoes from the grocery store, but they grow sometimes a little bit. Not very productive. Got to wait a year to get your first tomato off it, but it's a big plant, so I just let it go. Nice, breezy, moist, tropical day. Look at the oak trees. Look how many leaves are on them. Just last week there was hardly anything on these, and then they got a bunch of fuzzy little flowers spreading pollen everywhere. And now, just the last couple days when we didn't have much sun and we had some rain, just poof, all of those leaves came out. My whole backyard is shaded in the afternoons from like 1 o'clock on. It's just completely it's like stepping into a closet back there now. I couldn't believe it. Here's our butterfly. Come here, butterfly. Come over and land on my flowers. There you go. Oh, no, you missed him. You missed him. Back here, back here, back here. Oh, there he goes. Butterfly. Butterfly cam. That's why we keep these flowers. I don't know what they're called. I call them pinks because they're all pink usually. Oh, and yes, the important ingredient I think I was missing on my seedlings was the potassium and phosphorus, and you get that from wood ash in your barbecue grill if you burn enough oak wood, which I do. There's all my oak wood I burn. So I charged both of my water tanks with about a cup or, well, maybe 2 cups of wood ash in 125 gallons. Stir that in, and so now everything that gets watered is going to have their potassium and phosphorus right in the water. don't need so much nitrogen for the, I mean, there's plenty of nitrogen in everything. There's nitrogen, that's alfalfa. So, yeah, you start giving them that wood ash, and you start getting pepper plants that kind of look like that. And clouding over again. Might get some rain today. I don't know. I got to go check the forecast. But yeah, 14-inch. I can't remember if it was this one or that. I think it was that one. That was the one I had the Trinidad scorpion pepper in for 7 years. And it will get moss growth. It's a lot of fungus right now, or not fungus, but algae. But that actually, that'll grow moss on there once you keep that moist enough, long enough, and the plant gets big, starts giving it some shade. There'll be moss growing on there, just like a forest. It gets kind of beautiful, actually. I got to hit a produce stand or a farmer's market or something somewhere. I got to get some produce and charge this bag back up. And got to get a tomato going in here this year. It's all really dry. This thing's been baked. It's been sitting for a couple years, kind of dormant. I've been really busy with other stuff. I haven't been doing a lot of gardening, tomato and pepper. I was just doing peppers in pots. But yeah, we're going to revive this. And yeah, we'll do this one for Larry. Right, girly girl? Good.